class, welcome back. My name is Justin Taylor. You're at Firestorm Freerunning. I'm super excited to be here. And today, we're gonna be doing the reverse 360 vault. Oh yeah! Woo! So our reverse 360 vault is a vault that can be used to get over an object in a really flashy kind of way, as opposed to something like a safety vault or a speed vault, which are all about straight line control, very parkour-esque. This is more of a free runner move. It's a bit more free flowing. It allows us to have a little bit more fun and be a little more flashy as we pop up and over a vault, still at a good rate of speed, but we get to put a little bit of flair on it. It can also be used not only for getting over objects, but from getting down objects in a nice flashy way. And also it's a really nice save. Much like a lot of people use a makaku when they mess up something and they go, oh, I'm falling, go into makaku, swing through cork. If you watch nearly every single parkour video, once you get really good at watching people, you'll notice a little stumble, immediate makaku, swing through cork. Looks really cool. Always saves you and makes it look nice at the end. The reverse 360 is a great one when you're on an object. You do a big jump or a flip or a gap onto the object and maybe you don't have a perfect landing to stick it. So you just plant your hands at the end and reverse 360 vault down to the ground. We're gonna get a little more detailed into how that works. But first, let's do our 60-second breakdown. All right, Mr. Nathan, 60 seconds on the clock. 60-second breakdown magic. All right, when you come in for your reverse 360 vault, you can take off pretty much any way you want, but gather step is the most comfortable. As you come in, whichever foot is in front, that means you're turning the opposite direction. My right foot's in front. I'm gonna take my right hand and I'm gonna turn around and face it back towards me, torquing on my shoulder a little bit. I'm gonna place my opposite hand here, so I'm reversed in to plant and push up. I'm then going to jump, look over my opposite shoulder and tuck my knees up and over, stepping out 1 foot, 2 foot. Now, when we come down and do the same thing from on high, it's the same idea. From a crouching position, I'm gonna be falling forward, twisting my hand and looking over my shoulder, again with my reverse grip, tucking and popping myself down to the ground. I'm gonna let gravity and the torque of my shoulders do all the work for me, usually landing in a shoulder roll. All right, let's break down our reverse 360 vault. So remember what we talked about when we come in, we can come in from a gather step, I can come in from a stride. A gather step is definitely one of the better ones on this. Now there are a few different types of hand placement. We're gonna go over both of them. The two primary ones that I like to teach and kind of what their pluses and minuses are and how you can use them in different situations to benefit yourself. So the most common one is coming in, and as I do this one, we're gonna say that I'm coming forward with my right foot forward because I'm a righty, so I'd be gather stepping a quick left right with my feet. When this happens, what I'm gonna start doing is as I'm jumping and leaving the ground, I'm gonna turn and look over my left shoulder and I'm gonna twist and plant this hand. Notice I can't really turn and plant my hand when I'm facing forward. What that means is I'm gonna have to start my turn looking over my other shoulder before I plant my hand. It's very important. You're coming, you're swinging, you're jumping and turning, then you're planting the hand so you're not putting undue stress on your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder. Now when this happens, because you are torquing yourself like this, it can be a lot easier to take a second hand to place down here for support. And this is just my other hand torqued 180. Remember, I'm turning outward, not inward. If I try to do this, you can, well, I look even weirder than normal. But if I turn it the other way, you can see my elbows are in opposite directions, giving me a nice, structurally strong arm stance to hold myself, number one, but also bent. So as I jump and turn, I can push off both my arms just like I would jump with my legs. As I do this, I'm gonna jump, turn, and I'm gonna drive my knees up into my chest. We're gonna do two of these real quick, and I want you guys to notice the difference. So in the first one, as I go, I'm gonna keep my chest up. Notice I land pretty much straight up and down, pretty much facing forward. A very, very common thing that happens when people learn this is you come in and it's almost like you turn, and as you look over your shoulder, you can see I'm at a diagonal now. We have to make sure when we do this, we keep our chest up. If I turn myself sideways, it's like a really crappy wannabe vaulty B-twist that is not gonna work very well. So look what happens when I turn sideways and I do this. Perfect. How does Batman do it? First try. But you notice when I go sideways, as I come down, because I'm sideways, my feet slam, I have no balance here. I can't push out, I can't keep moving, I can't do much with it. So it's really important when we do this, we focus on keeping the chest up. Turning the hand, planting the other hand. I'm gonna push with both, and notice again how I come a little bit off the ground already turning and jumping before my hand fully plants. Now I'm facing forward. Reverse 360s are used a lot to set you up in your free running pass for tumbling or tricking. Because I'm coming out and twisting, and I'm landing my feet 1, 2, like a stride or a gather out, from here I can easily go into a cartwheel, a round off, whatever kind of pass you want. All right, it is really hard when you first learn reverse 360 vaults to run out straight. You're coming with all that torque and landing 1 foot at a time. When you land on 1 foot, your body wants to continue rotating. So don't be surprised if you turn a little sideways or are a little twisty when you come out. Just utilize that rotational energy and turn it into a cartwheel or a really cool pass. One other thing I want to show you guys is one other type of hand placement, and that is one hand reverse 360 vaults. These ones, as you get a little better, especially if you're coming in from like a stride as opposed to a gather step, these ones are a lot more superior. The one arm one will not get you as much pop up, so it's much better suited for lower objects like hip or lower. It will also shoot you a lot further out and allow you to keep more speed like a spinny speed vault. So it'll shoot you out further over a lower object. If it's a higher object, you don't want to be doing the one arm. You're going to want to use the two arms to push yourself up and over the object. But if you'll notice, I'll come in right here for my reverse 360. I'm going to do the same thing with just my right arm. And you can see I land quite a bit further away. Even with just, a two-step run, I'm landing 2 or 3 feet further than I was with two. Two arms, good for taller objects and popping yourself up. One arm, good for lower objects and a further distance at a higher rate of speed. Remember, because you are pushing off one arm, it is going to make it a little harder until you're good enough to keep yourself from twisting sideways or spinning a lot when you land. So take your time, start with two arms, and slowly build yourself up to the one arm. Sound good? Oh yeah, I like it. All right guys, we are going to do our reverse 360 vault down to the ground. This one is nice because it's even easier. I don't have to do any work. As you are on top of an object, or like if I'm jumping, let's say I'm precisioning the 8 or 9 foot gap from that wall to this wall and I land, and I realize that when I land, I'm not gonna have that perfect stick that I want, and I'm gonna stumble or fall forward. Instead of stumbling and making it look bad, all I have to do is start to fall forward, and as I do, same thing we did with our hands before. I'm gonna turn 180 degrees. You can turn 90. It is fairly common for people to do this. The problem is that by the time I actually turn and push off, my arm is now torqued behind me like this. Whereas if it's here, I can just push directly behind me instead of like this to the side, which is pretty weak on your shoulder. So I don't recommend that one, especially when you're starting out. But all I have to do is fall forward. As I do, I'm gonna plant those hands, look over my shoulder, and as I fall, I'm just gonna tuck my knees, let myself spin, and extend my feet towards the ground. So I come here, I fall forward, whoa! Once again, as you saw, there's nothing too special about this one. It's very similar to what we did down on the ground, and in fact, it's even easier because there's no run, there's no foot placement, there's just me coming in here, turning the hand 90 degrees as I turn and fall, planting the other hand, and then tucking my knees and absorbing. Now, because you are falling down to the ground, this one's not very far, right? This is a little less than 6 feet. As I'm coming down though, I am gonna be twisting. It's really hard to land a twisting precision, especially while dropping more than a couple of feet. Your legs are doing a lot of absorbing. So be prepared to pull in and go into a shoulder roll. I guarantee that pretty much all of you guys have seen this done in some big parkour video. Somebody does a big jump, they land, it's not gonna work, plant the hand down, reverse 360 to the ground. What do they always do? Shoulder roll. Why? Because it wasn't planned to stick. Just like our reverse 360 going into that cart, or just like anybody when they mess up a tumbling pass or a tricking pass going into Makaku swing through cork, this is the flashy thing that makes you look cool when you screw up. Okay, that is it. That's our reverse 360 vault. Tune in next week. We're going to be going over our laches on the bars, launching from one bar, landing on the other bar without falling on the ground in between. It's going to be fancy. My name is Justin Taylor. You're here at Firestorm Free Running and Acrobatics. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. when I'm done farting. We're gonna cut that part out, right?